Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a multi-stop European tour. But this isn't just another diplomatic visit, because this tour comes at a time when the world is navigating wars, economic uncertainty, technological competition, and shifting geopolitical alliances. And that's what makes this visit important. It's not just about where Modi is going, rather, it is about what India hopes to achieve. The first major stop was France. And unlike the rest of the tour, this leg has already produced concrete outcomes. Modi held extensive talks with French President Emmanuel Macron. The discussions covered defense, artificial intelligence, innovation, trade, nuclear energy, space cooperation, and the Indo-Pacific. In other words, the conversation wasn't just about today's challenges. It was about preparing for tomorrow's world. France occupies a unique place in India's foreign policy. It is one of India's closest strategic partners in Europe. For decades, the two countries have worked together on defense cooperation, from fighter jets to maritime security to cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. But today the relationship is evolving. The focus is no longer limited to defense. Technology, AI, innovation, startups. These are increasingly becoming the new pillars of the India-France partnership. The meeting between Modi and Macron was significant for another reason. Both leaders pushed for deeper cooperation in emerging technologies. Artificial intelligence featured prominently in the discussions. So did digital innovation, economic security, and critical technologies. The two sides also discussed expanding trade and strengthening cooperation in sectors that are expected to define the future global economy. The message was clear. India and France are looking beyond traditional diplomacy. They are building a partnership for the next decade. One of the standout moments of the visit was the launch of Bharat Innovates, an initiative specifically designed to connect Indian startups and innovators with global opportunities. And this technology focus doesn't end here, because Modi is also scheduled to attend Viva Tech in Paris, one of Europe's biggest technology and startup summits, a platform where India hopes to showcase its growing influence in innovation, artificial intelligence, and the digital economy. With France complete, the focus now shifts to Slovakia. At first glance, it may appear to be a quieter part of the tour, but if you notice strategically, then it does matters. Modi is expected to hold talks with Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico. The objective is simple: expand India's engagement beyond Western Europe, strengthen ties with Central Europe, and explore new opportunities in trade, manufacturing, technology, and industrial cooperation. Because India's Europe strategy is no longer confined to a few major capitals. Rather, it is becoming broader and more ambitious. But perhaps the most closely watched stop of the tour is still ahead: the G7 summit. India is not a member of G7, yet Prime Minister Narendra Modi continues to receive invitations. And that tells its own story. It reflects India's growing importance in global affairs. And, more importantly, its increasing role in shaping international conversations. The G7 brings together some of the world's most powerful economies. This year's agenda is expected to include economic uncertainty, artificial intelligence, energy security, supply chains, and ongoing geopolitical conflicts. Issues that affect countries far beyond G7 itself. For India, the summit is an opportunity to put forward its perspective, and an opportunity to amplify the concerns of Global South. Over the past few years, India has increasingly positioned itself as a bridge between developed economies and developed nations. Whether it's climate finance, food security, technology access, or sustainable development. India has sought to project itself as a voice for countries that often remain underrepresented in global decision making. And the G7 offers another platform to carry that message forward. So, when you look at this Europe tour as a whole, a larger strategy begins to emerge. France represents strategic cooperation and technological ambition. Slovakia represents India's effort to expand its footprint across Europe, and the G7 represents India's growing role in global governance. 3 decisions, 3 different objectives, but one larger goal. And that's why the story is bigger than diplomatic itinerary. It is about India's place in a changing world. A world where technology is becoming power, where partnerships are becoming strategic assets, and more importantly, where countries are competing not just for influence but for relevance. Prime Minister Modi's Europe visit is ultimately about ensuring that India remains at the center of those conversations. Because the meeting may happen in Europe, but the implications could extend far beyond the continent itself. This is Ritu, and you're watching DNA.